Okay, you're live on the Archie Luxury channel. Today I'm with Clive, my good friend Clive. And today, Clive, we're discussing something that only I think you would be
Archie Luxury channel. Today I'm with Clive, my good.
Sorry about that.
Yes, thank you. Now, Clive, we're dealing with something very important here, dealing with stolen watches, how to avoid buying stolen property. Now, this is actually a paid review, Clive. So if anyone else wants Clive to answer a review, he's available. He's available. You can just basically look in the description of this video for 10 ways you can help Archie. And I can do videos, $20 US for a video. And if you want me to ask Clive to come in, he just comes in and chats a bit. You can send a little bit more for the Clive ones, but it's up to you. I'm a little bit desperate at the moment, so $20 is fine. Clive, let me read the email. Hi, Arch. I hope I'm not being a cheap Google Ads, but I have a couple of questions. One for Clive and one for AC2. Now, this is the question. For Clive, I want to know how he screens or tests Craigslist or other private sellers to see if an item is stolen and being fenced. If the seller is fencing stolen goods. On the popular US TV show, Pawn Stars, if they are buying anything stolen, the police walk in and take the item. Also, a quick comment. Here in Utah, the police encourage traders to meet in front of the police station to do trading where they have cameras. So that's a very good question. How do you screen against buying stolen goods? Because I believe I don't know what the law is in America, but in Australia, if you've bought something stolen, the item goes back to the correct owner. So you can really find yourself out of pocket, because not only is it very, very, messy dealing with stolen goods, you don't want to get a bad rep with the police. You don't want to get into trouble. If you're paying high prices, you don't want to get anything dodgy. What do you do, Clive? Tell me this. What do you do?
Well, there's always some telltale indications, though, for instance.
Yes.
For instance, if you meet the seller and it kind of looks like this. Hey, are you a cop? You're not a cop, right? You're really not a cop? That's probably a good indication the watch is stolen. Also, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And sometimes it can be, a watch can be authentic, but the price, unless that, sniff them out, see what the story is. Some people have to resort to quick sales, but, generally, if it's too good to be true. Also, dealers. The only trouble with getting a watch at the police station is the police don't authenticate if it's real or not. So what's worse, possibly buying a stolen watch or possibly buying a fake watch? Usually authorized dealers also have cameras. So I would say meet them at an authorized dealer or at a jewelry store with adequate security.
I got to tell you, Clive, I think also when you're buying things, you got to buy the seller. You got to buy the seller. Very important words, because if he is as dodgy as sin, it's more chance it's going to be a really dodgy thing. So what vibe do you get with the seller? Does he know anything about it? Like, he may not be a Rolex expert if you're buying a used Rolex, right? But he would at least know if it's a Submariner or a Datejust. He would at least know that's the model.
And have a rough idea of what it is. Now, keep in mind, even with Craigslist, there are policemen. Basically, the Metropolitan Police patrol Craigslist to look for stolen items.
Of course.
Just like any place else. So it's a little, now on Pawn Stars, now I'm not sure about Pawn Stars. I haven't really seen the show. But one of the things I do know doing criminal defense is that they have a database for the Metropolitan Police Services all put together a database of stolen goods. Usually, if they're pawned, they'll check the database, probably not at the time of sale or shortly thereafter. And in Oklahoma, it's a criminal offense. It's a felony offense to issue a false statement to a pawnbroker.
Oh,
yeah. So up to 2 years in prison. Not the most heavy-handed felony, but still a felony.
yeah.
And it's pretty much almost a strict liability crime. So yeah, so pawn shops have more protection, of course, than the general public. But it might be possible to. I would also save a copy of the Craigslist transaction, save it to your hard drive as a web archive. Possibly even do a bill of sale for the purchaser, draft one up, or use a form.
Do you ask to see any ID when you buy something?
I should say yes, but generally no. I probably, in retrospect, that's probably a damned good idea. But on the other hand, I'm kind of, if someone's gonna screw over a lawyer, they've had to have some pretty big balls.
You have had some near misses, but it's mainly where all the watches you've bought have been fine. They've been legitimate sellers. It's mainly in the rudimentary phase when you haven't gone out to see them. You may have rung them that you get the impression they're not 100%.
Right.
Like it normally is way before you've gone out to do the deal that you've got suspicions. And you've had a few suspicions and you've just run as fast as you could, haven't you?
Correct. And one of the things, I always use my legal email address to reply initially. And I've noticed sometimes that seems to scare people off, but usually for a good reason. It usually means that the pieces are not authentic, or I guess sometimes it's probably because maybe they were stolen.
Yes.
Also, you'll also see on Craigslist, a lot of times if people have pieces that are stolen, they'll post them on Craigslist. So as part of being an educated seller, you look and see what's out there. Of course, there's nothing to keep the person from taking it to another jurisdiction.
Yes.
It is something to be careful with, and it's probably something I've probably been a little bit negligent with, frankly. Good point. Good points all.
So basically, there's a number of things you can do there. I suppose it's mainly you get a dodgy impression when you're doing the initial phone contact. It's normally I've sold a few things and I've bought a number of things, and I've had a few weird phone calls, like people who've this is when I don't sell a lot, but they've kind of said, they kind of have no idea what it is. They have no idea what it's worth, no idea what they just very, very, they normally stand out a mile away. Okay. The other telltale signs is meeting people in trailer parks is often not a good idea.
Crack houses.
Yeah. You've got to,
unless the crack house is in a really good part of town.
Yes, that's exactly. It's a joke, Clive, isn't it?
Yes. Well, no, actually, rich people get caught on crack too, and actually, that would be an excellent place to buy Rolex, assuming you don't get shot. I can see that happening. I've heard stories of that happening.
What's that? Sorry.
I've heard stories of that happening.
People getting shot,
or people dumping luxury goods for their addictions.
Wow.
The pawn shop's not open 24 hours a day, Pontiff.
No, I see what you're saying. That's pretty terrible. These addictions. Normally, when the addiction goes to that level, these items have been sold off a long time ago there. A long, long time ago. And,
Right.
I mean, it's really, I know in Australia, it's really not in your interest to buy stolen goods because
Well, all you'd have to do is, that's why you keep a copy of the original transaction or the original posting, so you could show that you were a good faith purchaser. Now, on the other hand, if you're getting it from someone that looks like they're like 70 pounds underweight, twitching like a leaf on a tree in the autumn, and they're wanting like $4,000 what the watch is actually worth, less than what it's worth, then yeah, be careful. Be very careful.
I was actually offered a diamond a while ago. I'm not going to name who offered it or what the deal was, and they said to me it may not be. It may have been sort of borrowed. That's how they described it. And I thought, okay. And I wasn't interested in it. I wasn't interested. As soon as they said that, I didn't say, oh no, I'm not. I just very casually just moved around it and started talking about other things.
Right. Well,
and the best thing is, if it is stolen, it's got bad karma to it. I honestly tell you now, in my country, you have something stolen, the police will seize it off you and they'll give it back to the correct owner. That's what will happen. So you're out of pocket for the money that this thug has then. You're not going to get that money back. That doesn't magically come back.
But if you can show that you're a good faith purchaser, you won't have to be worried about, in my jurisdiction, possession of stolen goods as well.
Yeah, but you may lose the item. You may lose the item. You don't have title to the item, do you?
You don't have title to the item. That is correct. But on the other hand, you won't lose the item and have to post bail.
Yes. Very, very true. Very, very true there indeed. Clive, I think that's a very thing. You've got to be so careful. When you are buying secondhand goods, that's why sometimes it's better to go through a dealer. If you don't have the kahunas or the balls to actually do this right, sometimes you're better off to go via a dealer. This is the thing. If you're dealing with a dealer, you're not going to have these type of issues, are you? What do you think?
Well, you can't. You're less likely by when, say, you're completely foolproof, because again, it's possible even for people do pawn stolen goods. It's not until afterwards. It's not until afterwards that the pawnbroker finds out the goods are stolen. But actually, there's someone.
He's more than likely to cover it. If it is stolen, and say the police came out and saw you, he would say, "Okay, look, here's your money back. I'm sorry to got you involved in this. Here's your money back," as a goodwill gesture, wouldn't he? He's more likely to do that because he's a honest, legitimate trader. That's what honest, legitimate trader would do, isn't it?
Something that's interested. That's true. Something that's interested, though. I've noticed that I've been waiting for comments from K9 Police XJ, which I presume is law enforcement or former law enforcement, and he's like, "Nope, I deal with a dealer."
Deal with a dealer.
I have not been paid in luxury goods. However, if you do have a Rolex, you've been accused of a crime in the state of Oklahoma, give me a call.
We'll talk. Call. You will talk. You will represent them?
Depends on the Rolex, frankly. Now, if you got a Patek, I'm open.
Ha, 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 ha. That is a very good point. Have you represented people who have handled stolen goods as
all the time, all the time, and false statement to a pawnbroker. Here's what false statement to a pawnbroker is. It's kind of like, oh God, you'll have to excuse me. I'm still dealing with the sinus headache. God, it's not DWI, it's not DUI, it is, I can't think of it. But the possession of, false declaration to a pawnbroker more or less works out like this. Look here, goddammit, we know you stole this. We know you broke in the house and took this. We don't have anything pinning you to that crime, so we're going to nail you with this instead. There's also another alcohol-related and I cannot. I'm having a total brain freeze right now, but it's sort of like the same thing. It's more or less where you pull over at a drive-through, drunk off your ass. You get your hamburger and your milkshake with the car off, and the police roll up. So it's I can't think of it. But similar thing. It's just like, damn it, we know if we got here 5 minutes ago, we would have caught you driving under the influence. So we're going to get you with this crime instead.
Oh,
by the way, what watch are you wearing? What's your?
I am wearing my I am wearing the Bregster.
Nice.
What are you wearing there, Clive?
Base logo, Pam 0.
Base, hang on, put it up. Base logo, Pam 0. Did you enjoy the ice cream review yesterday? Can I ask you that? Speaking of which.
Well, I noticed you actually did review it. You actually did describe it while you were shoveling it in. I'm surprised you could talk around the mouth about, Yeah, I mean, I do like coconut. Coconut.
Absolutely amazing. I've been paid by viewers to do more food reviews.
I've been doing my green smoothies at night. That's what I've been doing when I want something sweet.
Please don't mention green smoothies when I'm eating ice cream, okay? It doesn't go well.
You know, you can barely taste the kale.
You know what, Clive? That is a real dodgy bucket of ice cream.
It's a real empty bucket of ice cream.
Oh, look at that. I had fridge mice who have eaten the ice cream. Can you believe that?
Right. Yeah, and they got into it without actually clawing through the container. Those Australian mice must be some like hellaciously smart little critters.
Very smart. I might have to get another tub out. What do you reckon, Clive?
Why not? Actually, you really haven't drank on camera lately. What's up with that?
No more drinking.
No, I really haven't seen you drink on camera lately. What's going on with that?
Look, I got to tell you the truth there, Clive. Drinking alcohol all the time. I'll just have a little bit more ice cream if you don't mind. I got another bucket in the fridge there. Yeah. Just one scoop, okay?
All right. And you know, actually, with the green smoothies, the baby spinach probably blends the best with it.
Have some caramel salted one. Ah, this is good, Clive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this diet's going to go.
Yeah, okay, this guy's K9 police. He is totally law enforcement. Always starts with a tail light that's burned out. It's like, yep. Absolutely. Probable cause. Terry, stop, and there you go.
I better stop, Clive. I don't know if I can stop. I'll eat this whole bucket. You know that?
Okay, Holdorf 333. Clive, I'll send Archie $5 right now to chug a beer. Okay, Holdorf F333. It's ArchieLuxury72 at gmail.com. Send him send him PayPal.
I don't have any beer. I don't have any beer in the fridge. You think I wouldn't have drunk it if I had it in the fridge?
Well, okay. What do you have to drink? Maybe you could take it $5 to take a shot.
I don't know, Clive. I don't want to encourage people to drink. Alcohol can be a demon. Alcohol can be a very bad demon. I don't know if you know this.
Dude, I'm part Irish and part Indian. I do know this. Do you have a bucket of KFC to wash the ice cream down with?
I don't know what's, you're not going to live long eating that sort of food. You know, I've stopped the ice cream. I have stopped. Okay. I have stopped. Okay.
Okay.
I have stopped. And
I think the people really do like the eating videos. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's the unadulterated joy that comes across your face.
Clive, I'd like to do a pizza review. I don't have the pizza to eat, but I want to discuss a pizza with you. Is that possible? Let's can this video here.
Okay.
Oh, I got a brain freeze. Brain freeze. Oh my God. Brain freeze. Brain freeze.
Doesn't that mean you've basically eating too big of a mouthful and it's up against the roof of your mouth?
Right. It just, it's very cold.
There's a way to combat that, but I can't think about it right now.
Eat more ice cream.
Yep, sure, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, let's cut this. We'll come back and do a pizza review.
All right.